On the surface, the sea was calm, but beneath it, in those dark, endless caves, silence felt heavier than death itself. Aaron, a deep sea diver, was returning to the underwater cave where his brother Kerem had vanished a year ago. No one ever found his body. Only a faint light, a flashlight beam flickering deep within the cave, had been seen before it disappeared into the dark. That light was still there, and Aaron was determined to follow it, even if it meant joining his brother. The dive team prepared at sunset. As they descended into the deep blue turned to black and the weight of the ocean pressed down like an invisible hand. Aaron's heartbeat echoed inside his helmet. The rhythmic hiss of his oxygen was the only sound left. When they reached the cave entrance, they saw strange marks on the stone walls, old carved symbols covered in moss. It looked like someone had left a trail. "Aaron, be careful," a voice crackled through the comms. "Visibility is almost zero." But Aaron didn't listen. He kept moving forward. He had to find the place where Kerem disappeared. As their light swept across the stone, eerie shapes appeared, human-like faces carved into the rock, their eyes hollow, their mouths open in silent screams. Aaron froze. For a moment it felt like those stone faces were breathing. The deeper they went, the thinner the air became. Then, from the corner of his eye, Aaron saw it, a light, faint but moving deep within the darkness. There it was, the same glow seen a year ago. He swam faster. As he neared the light, the water turned murky, disturbed, as if someone had just passed through. He reached out and saw a flashlight wedged between the rocks. On its side engraved letters, KK, his brother's flashlight. But before Aaron could grab it, the light moved, not drifting with the current, moving on its own. "Aaron, what's happening? The light's moving?" His teammate's voice stuttered through static. Aaron didn't respond. The light slid deeper into a narrow tunnel, pulling him with it. The passage grew tighter, colder. His breathing quickened, fogging his visor. And then, the wall at the tunnel's end began to move. The stones split open, releasing a cold, black mist that swallowed his light. Aaron raised his flashlight and froze. Standing in the darkness was Kerem. His eyes were pale, his skin gray, and his movements slow, unnatural. Kerem lifted Aaron's flashlight, stared straight at him, and whispered through the comms, "You found me, brother." Aaron's pulse stopped. He realized what he was seeing wasn't his brother, not anymore. The darkness had taken him. Static burst through the radios. "Aaron, respond. Do you copy?" But there was no answer. When the rescue team entered the cave hours later, they found nothing. No suit, no tank, no camera, only a flashlight floating gently in the dark water. It flickered on, then went out. A week later, sonar picked up a new light source deep inside the cave. When cameras were sent down, they revealed two silhouettes carved against the stone, frozen, unmoving. One was Aaron, the other, Kerem. Both had their eyes open. Both were glowing. Since that day, diving in that cave has been forbidden because every time someone dares to enter, another light appears in the darkness, and each light marks another lost soul. The old church on the edge of town had been abandoned for decades. The elders always warned people to stay away, because deep beneath it, in a forgotten crypt, there was said to be a stone door no one dared to open. But that night, 3 university students decided to test the legend. Melis, Can, and Tolga, archaeology majors working on a project about cursed structures of Anatolia, and this church was rumored to be the darkest of them all. Midnight had already passed. Thunder rolled across the hills, lightning flashing through the broken windows. The 3 stepped inside with their flashlights. The air smelled of damp earth and rot. Every sound echoed like it was trapped inside a tomb. Melis swept her light across the altar and froze. Behind it, a narrow opening was carved into the wall. A passage, a staircase of rough stone led downward. "This must be where the door is," Can whispered. Tolga smirked. "Or maybe it's just another story." But then came a noise, a faint metallic scraping echoing from below. None of them spoke again. They descended the stairs, step by step. The deeper they went, the heavier the air became, as if the stones themselves were breathing. At the bottom stood a massive stone door, covered in strange symbols, spirals, eyes, triangles intertwined like veins. Melis knelt beside it. These markings, they're pre-Christian. Pagan, maybe. Tolga ran his hand across the surface, and the entire door shivered beneath his touch. Carved above the door was an inscription. "The earth reclaims those who forget." Can chuckled nervously. Probably just an old warning, but Melis shook her head. "No, it's a curse." Then came the sound, a deep rhythmic pounding from beneath the stones. 1, 2, 3 times. Tolga's flashlight trembled in his hand. "Tell me you heard that." They all had. Dust rained down from the ceiling as a thin crack split across the center of the stone door. Something moved behind it, slow, deliberate. Melis lifted her light just as a gray, withered hand reached through the crack. It wasn't human. Its skin was dry, cracked like rock. Can dropped his flashlight, the beam spinning wildly across the walls. From beneath their feet, voices rose, dozens of whispers overlapping in a chilling chorus. "Turn back. The earth keeps what it's given." But it was too late. The stone door began to open. Melis screamed and ran toward the stairs. Tolga grabbed her arm, trying to follow, but Can didn't move. He stood frozen, staring as figures emerged from the dark. They looked human, but their skin was made of stone, their eyes glowing faintly from within like veins filled with light. As Can stumbled backward, he tripped on a stone that seemed to breathe. Melis turned just in time to see him sink, slowly, into the ground. His face disappeared beneath the stones, his scream echoing once, then gone. Tolga dragged Melis up the stairs. Behind them, the door slammed shut, sealing the silence inside forever. The next morning, the police found only Melis sitting in front of the altar, staring blankly. "The stones, they took him," she whispered. Tolga was missing. Days later, a rescue team began excavating the site. Under the altar, they found a face pressed into the stone, perfectly preserved. It was Tolga. His skin had hardened like granite, his eyes still open in frozen terror. And ever since that night, people say that when the wind blows through the old church ruins, you can still hear it. The faint sound of stones grinding against each other and whispers rising from below, as if the earth is still reclaiming what once escaped.
I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Don't forget to like and stay tuned for more stories. See you soon.